And we're on. We are on. Chamber Pod episode. I don't even know at this point. We record so much that I don't even know. I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know what day it is. Apparently, there's a live event tomorrow, and I thought it was on Sunday. So, yeah, apparently Money in the Bank is tomorrow. And you know who gives a lot of F's about it? Not this guy. But you know what? I have to watch it. So, yeah. Yay!
Wow. Way to completely Money in the Bank. Well, for those of you who do care about it, I'm right there with you. I'm very much looking forward to Money in the Bank tomorrow night.
Welcome to the Chamber Pod, the fastest growing wrestling show on YouTube. And that's because I said it.
Because JML said so.
This is our Chamber Pod mid-year award show. But before we get into the awards and who we're going to hand the awards to, and I think we're split on these awards, so it is what it is. We're giving out multiple awards to different people. It's fine. It's it's why we have two hosts. It's a democracy and not a dictatorship. Big news came out yesterday. YouTube superstar, social media influencer, Logan Paul signed a contract with WWE. Now, if this would have happened 5 years ago, I think I would be really irritated and annoyed. But you know what? Hot take number one. He is probably the biggest star in the company outside of Roman Reigns now. People know who he is.
And after his showcasing at WrestleMania, people know that he can go. So,
and I don't know how much stuff you watch on YouTube, but I study a lot of interview shows and influencers and all of that, and I really got into his podcast, Impulsive, with his crew, and I actually learned a lot of stuff. And he got a bad rap, and I think getting to kind of know the Logan on the pod and he actually is not too bad of a person, and he's worked very hard to be in the spot that he's in, and for that matter, so is his brother, and my hat's off to them. I mean, they built.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they built a great brand, and the Prime energy drink that they have, the like Gatorade, KSI, and Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. It's great. They have like this, like the firecracker popsicle flavor as a drink. It is amazing, absolutely amazing. Logan Paul will drive eyeballs to WWE. This is what they need to build to that mainstream audience. And it's unfortunate that it's gotten to this point because they haven't built new stars. And they have to keep going back to stars of the old. And unfortunately, all those stars are too old to compete at this point. The Undertaker, Goldberg, you're not going to get The Rock. You're not going to get Stone Cold. No. I was surprised that you got Stone. So you have to get eyeballs somewhere, and you need these big names. And the Bad Bunnies and Logan Pauls of the world are what they have to go after to drive eyeballs to the product. And fortunately enough for them, with Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, they both work their ass off to actually look good in the ring. What's your thoughts, man?
I agree completely. As I said, now people know after WrestleMania that Logan Paul can go the distance, and I'm looking forward to what he has in store. When he first signed, he said basically everything that Miz said about them being okay is wrong, and he's gunning for Miz. So look for that SummerSlam. That should be good.
Yeah, that will definitely give them both something to do. And the Miz doesn't hurt anyone in the ring. So it's a good first singles match for Logan to have under the bright lights. So very, very happy for him. Very happy for Miz. They're both obviously in the reality space.
Wait, before you go on, there's the Bad Bunnies, the Logan Pauls, and the SmackDown announcer. Who's?
Oh, Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee's. You can't go saying those two without saying Pat McAfee along with them.
You see, my thing with Pat McAfee is he's so ingrained in the product, like as being part of the product, as being an announcer from week to week, that I just consider him part of the brand and not like a special attraction person, right? Okay. Like Bad Bunny or Logan Paul. And I think that's why we don't appreciate Pat McAfee as much as we should. I mean, that dude has only wrestled a handful of matches. He's looked good. He could talk on the mic like a veteran, and he loves to do it. Like he doesn't have to fly every Friday to go not tape, but go to a live SmackDown. He makes enough money doing what he's doing outside of WWE to not have to put his body through the travel and then be trained to have these matches. He doesn't have to. So my hat's off to him as well. With that being said, you want to get into it? You want to get into the nitty-gritty?
Absolutely.
The reason why 300 people are here.
300 people. That sounds good to me. Let's get more.
The Chamber Pod mid-year awards. We'll start off with promo or best talker promo of the mid-year. What say you?
It was MJF for his pipe bomb up until Christian cut that home run promo. Going after
and I would say home run promos by Christian.
True. He followed up with a nice one too.
He's like, not only, I apologize for saying that your father, is dead and all this, but your whole family should be dead. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, that is crazy. We're not here to talk about AEW and Dynamite, but I also agree. So we actually agree on this one. And I said it, and I'll continue to say it. My bold speaking, and I just speak these things, and some of it sticks and some of it comes true. I said last week, Luchasaurus and Christian were going to be a thing. What happens? They are a thing. I said Christian was going to overtake MJF as the top heel in the AEW. It's already happened.
Best promo.
It's already happened.
Yep.
I am Nostradamus when it comes to these things. Now, when it comes to lottery numbers, I wish I had those powers.
We wouldn't be here.
But they only work with pro wrestling storylines. So, yeah, promo talker, Christian Cage on his A game. This is the Christian that I've wanted to see since he debuted in AEW. I appreciate face Christian, but I love heel Christian, the creepy, dirty little bastard.
Yep.
What's been the biggest disappointment this year?
I'd have to. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd have to say CM Punk getting injured after winning the World Championship for AEW.
That is a big disappointment. I'll one up your biggest disappointment. I just think the amount of injuries that have happened in both companies has become the biggest disappointment. Whether it's been Cody's injury and the timing of that, Punk's injury, Adam Cole, Jungle Boy, Danielson. The list goes on and on and on of injuries that have disrupted this summer of wrestling. We've seen the changes with Forbidden Door. And then we saw Forbidden Door when you have guys who are not healthy fighting, wrestling strong style matches and then getting hurt, like Adam Cole. So, again, my biggest disappointment has been just the injuries as a whole. And I hope these guys can get healthy and we can have an awesome back half of the year where these guys all come back and we get the rosters and the matches that we wanted.
Godspeed.
Your biggest surprise of the year, I'll say my biggest surprise, and some people argue with me in the comments that this wasn't a surprise, but until I saw it, I didn't believe it. Cody Rhodes re-debuting in WWE at WrestleMania as Seth Rollins' mystery opponent, and basically re-debuting as the American Nightmare, no gimmick change, and presented as a superstar. That was the biggest surprise of the year so far for me.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. 2022 hasn't been full of many surprises, and to see Cody back in WWE was definitely one of them.
Cody Rhodes, man, like I said, biggest disappointment is his injury, but he'll come back. We know he'll come back and he'll
win the Rumble.
He'll be the man, and he'll fulfill the dream.
Absolutely.
So biggest surprise, Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, former founder of AEW. And it's basically within the 3 years that it started, left to go back to WWE. In 2018, I said, another Nostradamus here, okay?
Here we go.
I said, Cody does not fit in AEW. Everyone said, what do you mean? He doesn't like WWE. I said, he's just going along with it. Do you think he really hates WWE? The company that introduced him to his wife? The company that made him a lot of money? The company that built a statue of his father? The company that praises his father now, right? I don't think he really hated them. I just think he fed into the niche audience that loves AEW and hates WWE and was like, hey, I'm going to take a sledgehammer to this throne and I'm going to do these things and have the people rally behind me. Then when the people turned on him, I think that was the point where he was like, F it. My contract is coming up. I should just go back to the place where I know I can be treated like the superstar that I am. And I think that was the push for him to leave AEW and go to WWE. And he proved that he could do it on his own. Vince and Bruce and whoever in talent relations were like, hey, we're going to let you be you. No Stardust, no nothing. Like, you are a made man. And that's what we got at WrestleMania. So biggest surprise, Cody Rhodes. Tag team of the mid-year. This is where we disagree. I'm going to go with FTR.
Okay. FTR has conquered tag team division, but so have my guys, the Usos.
Yeah, and you really can't argue against either one. It's really like, do you like a Granny Smith apple or do you like, a red apple?
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, we all like different apples, but my apple is FTR. FTR, they went from a tag team that was disliked to the top babyface tag team within 3 months. Just over a 3-month period. And they had a solo match against each other that was awesome. They've won all these tag belts, and I can't wait. I cannot wait till they win those AEW tag team championships. It's the only thing that I'm invested in.
They'll be rocking 4 belts?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? They deserve it because they have done it their own way. They don't bow down to anyone. They do what they want to do. They deliver storytelling. They deliver great matches. And I could be a little biased because they love Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart. But, man, it's just great to see like a team that just wants to be a team like we have with the Usos, where they're not just two individuals thrown together to form a team. Like, these guys are natural tag teams.
Yeah.
So you picked the Usos.
Yep.
Why the Usos?
Why the Usos?
Yeah.
Same reason for FTR and AEW. They've been a dominant force. They've put on 5-star matches as tag team champions. They are themselves. They deserve to be where they are, and they're in an unstoppable faction right now. And God bless them, because they're in two solidified top spots on the main roster in WWE.
Yep. No, I agree. Yeah, so that's our tag teams of the year. Match of the mid-year, half year. What say you, Charlie?
Hell in a Cell, Seth versus Cody. Cody didn't have to wrestle that match. Cody put on a 5-star match with an injury that most wouldn't even walk near the cell with, and he was going through tables.
So that is my second favorite match.
Okay.
This is where the AEW shilling comes for me. The dog collar match with MJF and CM Punk was my favorite match so far this year. I loved the interactions between the both of them prior to that match. I loved the match itself. I loved the old school storytelling. And, I'm not a big fan of blood, but there should be blood in a dog collar match.
Of course.
Now, I watched a clip of Forbidden Door. Tanahashi did a sling blade to Moxley. Moxley rolls out of the ring and he's covered in blood. How in the blue hell is a sling blade gonna cut you up like a stuffed pig? Why? It's not necessary.
Because blading. Same reason Cody got injured. He says he can't blade, so he bleeds from the inside.
Horrible.
Like, I'll show them.
I cannot stand the overuse of blood in AEW. It really irritates me. And this is why, as much as we complain about WWE with the getting okay for the blood, I'm glad that they do, because these guys will just go out and there'll be blood in every match because they think that's how every story should be told, with juice. And it's not.
You tell stories without blading.
The accidental ones tell more of a story.
Yeah.
Like Austin at WrestleMania 13, Becky when Nia Jax broke her nose. Like,
absolutely.
That's when it means more, is when it's unintentional. When you're intentionally doing it, to me, it does nothing. Except in the matches where it makes sense, like a dog collar match. Yeah, someone's gonna get ripped open with that thick chain. Makes sense. And it was a blood feud. It needed blood. So my match of the mid-year, CM Punk MJF. Funny, ironically enough, both of those guys not in AEW at the moment. One due to injury, the other due to whatever shenanigans at this point. Like, we don't hear a peep about it.
No.
And then yours is Cody and Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
And again, for the viewers watching or listening on podcast, if you find us on the YouTube channel, again, comment, your picks for promo, biggest disappointment, biggest surprise, tag team, match of the half year, rivalry, and superstar. With that being said, our next category is rivalry of the half year, mid year. I'm gonna go with Rollins and Cody. The reason being is because we had 3 matches?
Yeah.
We had 3 matches. They were all awesome. Seth Rollins lost all 3 matches, and Seth Rollins still looks like $1 million and a superstar.
Absolutely.
You tell me, after losing 3 matches, most people
wouldn't come back.
They wouldn't come back from that. But that's a credit to not only Seth, but Cody for allowing that storyline to unfold how it unfolded. It takes 2 to tango. And between the promos, the matches, the presentation, and where this is headed, because of the injury to Cody, it kind of reminds me of Gargano and Ciampa, where Ciampa got hurt and we didn't get to see a match till like 8 or 9 months later, like the blow off. And that's what we're going to get with Cody and Rollins.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for higher stakes. It's going to be, probably for either the Universal or WWF title, or a WWE title. Sorry, I got WWF on my mind from our Look Back show. But that's my rivalry of the half year. What say you?
I hate to sound like a broken record. Seth, Cody, Seth, Cody, Seth, Cody, but Seth versus Cody. If you're not behind Seth versus Cody for the rivalry of the half year, you haven't been watching. Like you said, they put on 3 incredible matches back to back to back. Seth loses all 3, still looks like $1 million. Credit to both of them, especially Cody with the injury.
In as much as I say, and I've said for the last 2 or 3 years, that Roman Reigns is the biggest star in WWE, right now, in my opinion, Seth Rollins could be the biggest star in WWE if they wanted to go that route. I think if they kept this current incarnation of Seth Rollins and did not alter him to be the worst version of Seth Rollins when he was like the cookie cutter, we're all in this together, Seth Rollins. So they just kept this Seth Rollins as a face WWF. I said WWF again. WWE champion. He'd be the biggest star in the company. Especially at SummerSlam, if he does cash in on Roman.
He will.
So that leads me to another layer to this. What happens if Cody comes back and he's not a face? He's actually the heel.
Cody's coming back a face. Cody's getting Triple H the game treatment when he comes back. Beautiful Day by U2 playing. He's getting the whole nine. He's coming back uber face.
What was the Creed song they used to use? What was
My Sacrifice?
Oh yeah, My Sacrifice.
Those were great vignettes.
Yeah. So we agree on that one. Rivalry of the half year. Yeah. A lot of Seth, a lot of Cody. Be interesting now as we go into we're going to separate them. So our female superstar of the year. Go ahead. How about it?
Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan. She reminds me a lot of the Kelly Kellys or early Alexa Blisses or even Trish Stratus, because there was a time when she wasn't that great at wrestling. We're seeing her go from Rook to women's champion. And I just think tomorrow night is going to be the icing on the cake when she solidifies that winning Money in the Bank and whenever she cashes in, hopefully being a long-reigning women's champion.
Not a Nikki Ash.
No.
Not the Nikki Ash title reign from last year. Yeah, so my female superstar of the mid-year, half-year. Now, there's a lot of different choices we can go with. And, I'm just going to say this one at this point. I'm going to go with Mandy Rose in NXT. The reason being is since she went back to NXT, give or take about a year now, she has focused more on her character work in the in-ring work, and I think this is the most comfortable I've ever seen her. And she's being presented as a star. And this incarnation of Mandy, with the Toxic Attraction, this can be a main roster trio as a all-female group that we haven't got in quite a long time since, what was that, like PCB and but when they debuted Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha.
Okay.
When they had like the two different factions.
Yeah.
This current Toxic Attraction faction, you want to talk about like the bloodline, they have dominated the women's division in NXT. So Mandy Rose is my pick, female superstar of the half year. I was going to pick Thunder Rosa, but she's had a very, very uneven half year. Very, very uneven. And that's not her fault. It's called bad booking. Bad booking. Our male superstar. Do you want me to go? Or you want to go?
Go first.
Seth Rollins. Now, you're going to look at me and say, but JML, he hasn't won a match all year. Well, he hasn't won like a live event match all year. It doesn't matter. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at the Rumble was a banger.
Yes, it was. The tactical gear and everything.
A banger. And the storytelling. Okay? They built a story at the Royal Rumble that's going to culminate into something. And I hope it's at SummerSlam with the cash-in. But it's there. And the seeds are planted with Seth's promo. Roman, I got your number. Roman's never beat me. And the seeds keep being planted. They keep being planted. And although he lost, right? He lost the Cody matches. Even last year, he lost to Cesaro at Mania. He's lost more often than he's won, but you don't remember the losses. And I can't remember the last time a big name superstar has lost this much and gained this much.
That's why I have to agree with you. Seth Rollins is the superstar of the half year. He's lost all the big time matches that you want to say, but his mind games at Royal Rumble, coming out to the Shield theme song, coming out in the tactical gear, I got your number, Roman. The losses against Cody aren't losses because they both came out looking like $1 million after all three of those matches. His promos against Cody, fantastic. Tomorrow night is going to be his payoff for losing all these matches, because he is, for the millionth time that I've said on this show, Seth Rollins is winning Money in the Bank tomorrow night.
So this is my spoiler, okay? My spoiler. He's going to win the Money in the Bank. He's going to have a match with Riddle at SummerSlam. Riddle's going to beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
Goes.
Probably the first match, right?
Yeah.
And then, because wasn't Orton and Seth the first match at...
Yep.
Okay. And then the main event, we're going to end up getting a cash-in. And then we'll find out on Raw that he didn't win both titles. He only won one title. And hence, titles on both brands. And we're back to some normalcy again.
I could have sworn, I don't know if this happened, but I could have sworn Monday night they said, somebody in one of the promos for Money in the Bank said, I'm going to cash in and win the Undisputed Universal Championship.
That's what they think, but that the contract could say something different. You got to remember, this is Paul Heyman we're dealing with.
Okay.
Paul Heyman's a weasel.
He is.
He's the Paulrus.
Cuckoo.
Right? If the runner-up, in my opinion, superstar of the mid-year, no surprise, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes left AEW and put on 2 or 3 bangers in January with Sammy Guevara. Like, bangers. Like, through tables, ladders. And he said it, he left the right way. Okay? Then he debuts, or re-debuts in WWE, like a boss. Beats Seth 3 times, beats The Miz. He's like bigger than life. They're actually countdowns for when Cody's going to appear on Raw. Superstar. I can't wait till we get Seth and Cody again. And I can't believe I'm going to say that, because usually I hate and loathe when people have all these matches in a row against each other. But these two guys can have about 2 or 3 more matches against each other before I get sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you disagree or agree with any of our picks, our thoughts, our whatever, leave us comments. Be nice. Don't say anything nasty, because you will get deleted. Be nice. This is all in fun. All in fun. Share, subscribe, like, comment. We will do 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Whatever you guys want to do within reason, I'm game for it. So, drop me an idea for that, and we'll see what we can come up with. Also, the links to Patreon are going to be included in the description and the link tree that's on our channel. Patreon. What are some benefits of our Patreon for the top tier on our Patreon, Charlie?
You get to host a show with us at the $9.99, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can pick what show we do.
Yeah. Also, when we reach the 30 sub mark on Patreon at that tier, we'll do member only videos that we'll run polls on that you guys get to pick. So you'll get more content than the average just YouTube subscriber. So if you're interested in that, that'll be in the link tree in the description box on YouTube. Anything else you want to say before we sign off, Charles?
Just another big thank you to our 300 subscribers, and keep watching because we got much more in store for you.
And once again, good night and good luck.